give us thumbs up and comment. Let's get into it, guys. This is a game now and a half. Bills at the Chiefs. Let's take a look at the betting firstly, as we have it at matchbook.com. The money line, you can back Bills at 1.71. Chiefs are 2.28. The point spread gives Chiefs a 2.5 start at 2.02. And the total is 54.0. Rob, is it too dramatic to say that it's probably the perfect time in the season for these two teams to play, given their records of 4-1, given they both had comebacks over the last couple of weeks? Is it like perfectly crescendo to give us that rematch of just maybe, 9 months ago?
I think the only thing that would make it a little bit better is if there weren't injuries on both sides of the ball right now. So Buffalo's obviously been a pretty dismantled team. Chiefs had a couple players on the injury report. I think Frank Clark and one of their corners as well. Can't remember who that I saw today. But aside from that, very much looking forward to the matchup. This is a really challenging one to break down because just from a pure quote unquote line value perspective, I think the Chiefs are the second best team in the league. I think most people would agree with me. Even for those that don't, you're probably not having the Chiefs ranked anywhere lower than third in the league right now. And we're saying that the gap between the best team, Buffalo, pretty consensus, best team in the league, and the Chiefs, top three team, on a neutral field is essentially something like 4 to 4.5 points, which is very, very difficult for me to get to at this point in the season. I'm not trying to say that I dislike anything about the Bills because I actually really like the Bills. I think offensively, Josh Allen has showed several times in his career, especially the two matchups last year against Kansas City, that he's able to dissect this defense. They can't really do much to stop him overall. The Bills on defense have been able to survive with these injuries because they can get pressure with four people. Von Miller has been a godsend for that defense. And I think he really helps them in this matchup specifically because they might have a chance of getting pressure on Mahomes without having to send additional pass rushers. And Mahomes is not as great at beating coverage, although he's still a great quarterback all around. But I just have a very difficult time getting to this number. And I think a lot of people are overstating the Monday Night Football game with Kansas City and Las Vegas. And I was talking to Eric Eager, who's now with Suuma Sports, not Suuma Sports, Sumer Sports, about this. And he did a study when he was with Pro Football Focus about, offensive schemes in the NFL and how certain teams run a lot of plays on a week-to-week basis that are very consistent. And there are teams that are all over the place, depending on their opponents. And there is a lot of science to back up the fact that the Chiefs show their good plays against good teams, and they have a more vanilla scheme when they play prior to playing good teams. So anyone who watched Chiefs Raiders on Monday Night Football will know what I'm talking about, but you didn't get any really fancy plays from Kansas City in that game. It was more traditional offense, so to speak, whereas the week prior against Tampa Bay, you were getting all sorts of crazy stuff, especially at the goal line, tight ends taking snaps from under center, sneaking it. You had a couple Mahomes shovel passes, a flip pass, all sorts of crazy stuff. So I think there is this notion that Kansas City is very ripe for the picking. They might be, because Buffalo might be just that good. But overall, I made this game closer to 1.5, maybe even between 1 and 1.5. I have a very strong lean to Kansas City. At 2.5, I don't see enough value that I'd be interested in betting the Chiefs right now.
Yeah, Suuma, are you similar lines with Rob there, or can you see a bit more value? What do you have it in terms of the point spread at the moment?
Yeah, I also have it 1.5 to 2-ish. So if there is going to be Bills money and pushes this towards 3, I will most likely get involved. Right now, I still lean obviously a little bit to the Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes getting 3 points at home. That on the surface sounds like a pretty solid bet to make in general. I think Rob mentioned it yesterday to me that if you bet the Bills at -3, you would require them to win by 4 at Arrowhead. So that, I think, that doesn't sound like the greatest bet to make. We also cannot discount the great home field advantage for the Chiefs that I think subjectively we also saw on Monday Night Football during their comeback against the Raiders. The Bills are great. The Bills are fantastic. Their offense is absolutely clicking. They are also getting healthy on offense. They were dealing with some injuries, especially to Isaiah McKenzie, Jake Komarov, even though he's just their wide receiver 4 or 5. They were lacking some depth. Over the past couple of weeks, they are getting healthier. They should have a great matchup against the Chiefs defense in general. I just think that the Buffalo defense during the offseason over the past two years was built to stop Patrick Mahomes. They wanted to have a great pass rush with their front four. They don't want to blitz him, and they want to play sound coverage with disciplined coverage guys behind this. The problem is that they are without Micah Hyde already. They will be without Tre'Davious White, who's I think they opened the practice window for him, but he will not be back this week. Jordan Poyer, I expect him to be back, but he's likely still a little bit banged up. And the rest are just rookie cornerbacks, Tyron Johnson. So I think also the Bills defense, even though they are already posting great efficiency numbers again this year, they didn't have the strongest schedule. They played the Rams, where we now know that the Rams have one of the worst offenses in the league right now. They played the Titans, not a great offense either. They played Miami with Tua Tagovailoa for one half, and Tagovailoa was averaging 0.49 EPA per play with a success rate of 59% before going down. They played the Ravens. They gave up one good half against Lamar, and last week they played Kenny Pickett in his first ever NFL start. So I don't think that the Buffalo Bills defense, even though they look good, I don't think that they have been tested too much. And I can imagine a scenario in which the Chiefs offense will look very good against that defense. And then it basically comes down to which offense can execute more, which offense can get things rolling more. And then I would probably say the Chiefs getting the points is just the better play there.
Yeah, so small lean there from the guys, the Chiefs, +2.5. Probably not enough to lock in an official bet, but this is for the UK and Irish audience, like myself. 9:25. This is our prime time, so we